For people who grew up in the 90s, what are some things you miss about it? Optimism about the future, not knowing what the fuck everyone else was doing every moment of every day. Human connection and privacy, not knowing the political affiliations of every neighbor and family member. No big social media platforms unless you counted forums and chat rooms. MTV actually played music videos. The cartoons. Loved Nickelodeon. Not being old. Kids just playing together, usually outside and not being glued to screens. I miss forums. Sure, Reddit is like a forum, but I don't feel like I know you guys or that I would get to know you guys over a shared interest. The ability to disconnect and actually be out of touch. The 90s were great for that. Lack of anxiety from not having to know everything all the time. If you could take a pill that meant you never had to eat again but also couldn't, would you take it? Why or why not? To be clear, you'd have perfect nutrition and would never feel hungry. No, because food is amazing and delicious and magical even though my stomach hates it. Throw in not having to pee or poop again and you got yourself a deal. Absolutely not. Eating good food is one of the few joys that all human beings have in common. I'd rather die than give that up. Given the perfect nutrition, 100 yes, I would save so much money and time. I personally would. This would save me a lot of money and even improve my health. Because it would be perfect nutrition, lamau. And I low-key don't like eating, I always have to remind myself to eat and cook something up. Men of Reddit, what clothing brand lasts for a really long time? It's hard to recommend brands now, BC. It seems like they'll vary by store or randomly go to shit as the brand cheaps out. I don't know what concert tees are made of, but those things last decades. Patagonia, for sure. You pay for it, but only once. That's been my experience. Pendleton shirts and sweaters will last the rest of your life if you take care of them. Duluth Trading Company Firehose pants. If you do any kind of outside work that beats the hell out of your clothing, you should get these things. They cost, to be sure, but they are tough as nails and will last for years. I was a lineman, and had 4 pairs of these things that I bought back in the early 2000s. I still had and wore them every day when I retired in 2019. At that point, 1 pair had a hole just above the knee though. Serious, what turned out to be a lot more expensive than you anticipated? Car repairs. Root canal with a crown. I understand now why a lot of people just get the tooth pulled. Rugs. Biggest shock when I got my own place. Being an adult. Landscaping. Even by yourself. Skiing in Australia. $600 for 2 nights. A comp for the family, reasonable considering. $250 for snow clothes off FB Marketplace, not bad. $300 for ski and boot hire for 3 days. Pricey, but okay. $1,200 for lift passes for 1 day? WTF? House. Buying groceries. Gestures around vaguely. Chronic dental problems. I had someone come out to the house and he quoted me almost $20,000 to replace 4 doors. I passed. McDonald's breakfast. Starting a business. Someone hands you $100,000 and says, "You know what to do." What are you doing? Thank the guy first. Running away, lol. I'd reply Operation Valkyrie is in effect. Reporting it to the cops that some rando just gave me $5,000 and it feels sketchy. Am I supposed to do? No, really, I have no clue what you want me to do with this. Close the briefcase. Look into his eyes. Slow nod, straight face. Walk away without saying a home. Panic. Stash money. Change banks. Move. Might have to cut off ties to family. I ain't gay, but 100k is a 100k. I start knobbing, blow it all on hats, begin lubing my anus, pay off my debts. That leaves me with about $85,000 for savings. Not touching that. What a common phrase or word that someone can use that instantly makes you judge them. Do you know who I am? I have no filter. I tell it like it is, or similarly, I have no filter proceeds to be an asshole but gets hurt when people are straight with them. Calling yourself alpha male, boss babe. We are a great company that cares for our employees, or we really care about you, but 10 times they start to screw you over under the guise of a nice conversation. I die a little anytime a manager uses those phrases. For all intensive purposes, it's just a joke. Usually when a person says this, the joke is something really insensitive. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. I'm brutally honest. 9-10 times you're actually just an asshole who likes to use being honest as an excuse or justification to keep being an asshole. Alpha male. I'm so OCD, not OCD. Alpha unless it's programmer. Supposedly, the phrase I'm an empath. What are the downsides of having high intelligence? I'm smart enough to know how stupid I am. It's hard to wrangle it. Very easy to fall into depression and anxiety if you feel like you aren't filling your own shoes, if that makes any sense. Read a study one time that concluded that people with high intelligence mentally finish people's sentences before they finish speaking them. This results in them interrupting speakers a lot. Also results in frustration that conversations are just so slow and monotonous. I think it's lonely. The smartest people I know are all depressed AF. I know people with higher IQs than me and they're emotionally tortured. I like to think I'm of average intelligence and find most people to be morons. I'd imagine people's stupidity is infuriating if you're actually clever. Depression. What comedic actor do you not find funny? George Lopez. Used to love him. Now his act and his acting are just sad. Jimmy Fallon. Nick Cannon. How has James Corden not been posted yet? Andrew Dice Clay and Andy Dick. Bill Cosby. So boring he puts me to sleep. Kevin Hart. Ellen. My mom's used to love her show, but she always came across as kinda backhanded, like when the mean girls are telling the teacher that everybody's just playing. Andy Dick. I have never found anything he did remotely funny. How he even got the name recognition and acting parts that he has had is beyond me. James Corden is a total waste of oxygen. There is honestly a few, but Dane Cook is at the top of my list. George Lopez. Amy Schumer. Tyler Perry. Tiffany Haddish. She isn't funny, she's just loud. Russell Brand was infinitely more annoying than he was funny. What is the female equivalent of a man-child? Personally, I think it's those women that got stuck in the 15-year-old being mean is cute cool mindset, and they're just assholes to everyone, and then they cry when someone stands their ground. Usually the ones who say everyone around them is causing drama. Drama queen. Princess. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best ones. Woman child. Judging by all her comments. Up. Princess syndrome. Daddy's girl. Dependopotamus. Girls that expect doors open for them and say shit like can't handle me at my worst don't deserve me at my best. This bitch. Disney adult. Brat. Spoiled brat or little princess? Princess. Daddy's little princess. A woman child? Princess complex. Embarrassed smiley face. A Karen. Any woman that self-identifies as a diva. I don't have a name for them, but the ones who think travel, wine, and brunch constitute a personality. What is the worst thing to name your child? Pee-pee. My former sil thinks it's short for Penelope, so she makes everyone call her little girl Pee-pee. I wish I was kidding. Butterus, Medusa, Rambo, or Moonshine. Used to know a dude named Moonshine. Dude was fucked up. Man, don't do that to your kid. Apparently not methamphetamine rules, just spitballing here, but I am going to go with XA12. Exadarxiterol. Technomechanicus. Our tragedy. Public school teacher here. Do not name your kid Angel. He'll be anything but Mud, according to my mom. She always said, if you do that, your name will be Mud. My brother-in-law David wanted to name his son Harley. That way when someone introduced him it would go something like this. This is Harley, David's son. What job does not suck so out of you and pays great money? Vanna White's job on Wheel of Fortune. I know a bunch of people in the tech industry who never really complain about their work and make decent money. Being the one who sucks the life out of everyone else's and pays shit money. Sarcastic yet technically correct. I don't know about great money, but I like delivering food on my electric scooter. I like laying good meat, all sorts of interesting creative, just get to be a big kid, still playing with mud and sand and blocks and big boy Tonka to actually live your life outdoors and see a variety of strong. I work in tech as a system administrator for a specialized program and I have to say I like it. I don't have to deal with the riff-raff, just my higher level stakeholders. Because I'm considered a subject matter expert and I've had pretty good bosses, I'm generally respected for my expertise. A lot of it is the company culture and how supported you are by your manager. What's an amazing documentary everyone should watch at least once? My Octopus Friend, Octopus, brilliantly heartwarming and devastatingly sad at the same time. Makes you rethink your entire life and how you view it. Icarus, The Woman Who Isn't There. About a woman who survives 9/11 and loses her fiancé in one of the towers. She gets super involved in organizations that help people after 9/11. Except, of course, she wasn't actually there. Tickled Guy investigates the world of competitive tickling when things take an odd turn. Crip Camp, about a summer camp for kids with disabilities and how some of them went on to be activists. So good. Baraka. A wordless documentary about the evolution of humans and their societies. The whole Kotze trilogy is great, but Baraka is a must. What's the worst about being an only child? When I was little, people would give me board games like Monopoly for gifts, and I wouldn't have anyone to play with. Even Hungry Hippo sucked playing solo. I did Master Solitaire though. I think because I am an only child I have become used to spending time on my own. As a result I am quite antisocial. I don't mind being around people and can be quite talkative, however it exhausts me and I need far too much time on my own to recover. Family is the most likely group of people to help you when things get tough. When your parents pass you have less support. Also, aging parents become solely your responsibility. Who is someone that's beloved now, but was surprisingly unpopular when they were alive. Edgar Allan Poe. While visiting the Abraham Lincoln Museum in Springfield, IL, I was shocked at how virulent the political cartoons and articles of that time were. J.S. Bach. Towards the end of his life. Alan Turing. Emily Dickinson. She was rejected as a poet while she was alive, and now she's in every American literature textbook. Vincent van Gogh. He wasn't popular until his death. John Kennedy Toole. Couldn't find anyone to print his novel and ended up taking his own life. Years later, his novel, A Confederacy of Dunces, published after his death, won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 1981 and is still about as universally praised as a novel ever.